The general debate of the 77th session of the UN General Assembly opened in New York, the United States, on September 20 local time. Ambassador Đặng Hoàng Giang, head of the Vietnamese mission at the UN, jointly chaired the event.
Over the past more than 4 decades, Vietnam has made active contributions to improving the role of the United Nations, building international law system and standards toward a society of fairness and development, and ensuring global peace and security.
Vietnam always remembers the UN support on the first days of its membership. There were times when the UN aid amounted to 60% of the total non-refundable assistance to Vietnam, in the context that the country was under embargo.
Vietnam also became a member of the UN Security Council for the 2008 to 2009 and 2020 to 2021 tenures, the UN Human Rights Council, and the UN Economic and Social Council. Joint management mechanisms of UNESCO, became member of the UN's International Law Commission twice, and recently Vice President of the UN General Assembly for the second time.
Vietnam's successes in the process of renewal and national development are also the UN's own. Vietnam has made active contributions to improving the roles of the UN towards a society of fairness and development, and ensuring global peace and security.
Vietnam also succeeded in fulfilling the UN's Sustainable and Millennial Development Goals, proving that goals set by the International Organization for the International Community are completely feasible. With the deployment of its staff to the UN peacekeeping mission, Vietnam has increasingly made effective contributions to peace and security in the region and the world.
And is really doing its best to respond to these priorities, and that is why we really appreciate what Vietnam has been doing with us since it started contributing to peacekeeping operation, which was...
We admire the Vietnamese Army's strong discipline and commitment to peace, which provides a vital foundation for Vietnam's contribution to global peacekeeping efforts.
From its humble beginning as an aid recipient and less developed nation, Vietnam has become one of the middle-income countries and is realizing the UN's major goals in the near future. Bilateral ties between Vietnam and the UN have brought practical benefits to not only Vietnam but also the region and the world. About Vietnam's major goals for next year, Ambassador Giang said the most important is how to maintain peace and stability in the country, the region, and the world. In order to achieve them, he said countries must work closely together to deal with common issues at multilateral forums, especially the United Nations.
Ambassador Lê Thị Tuyết Mai, head of the permanent mission of Vietnam to the United Nations, World Trade Organization, and other international organizations in Geneva, led a delegation to a UN exhibition on 100 years of multilateralism that opened in Geneva on September 20.
This exhibition shows historical documents and artifacts at the UN Library in Geneva, helping connect the public with current global issues. It's also an opportunity for the UN and its member states to promote peace through multilateralism, review lessons of the past as they look to the future together. Since becoming an official member of the UN on September 20, 1977, Vietnam has supported and promoted multilateralism. The Vietnamese missions attending the exhibition showed the country's strong commitments and efforts in upholding and strengthening multilateralism. Over the past 45 years, from an underdeveloped country, Vietnam has become a middle-income one and a responsible partner of the global organization, taking on many responsibilities, making substantial and effective contributions to the largest multilateral organization on the planet, and implementing most of the Millennium Development Goals, especially those on hunger eradication and poverty alleviation, gender equality, health, and education.
The Asian Development Bank has maintained its favorable economic outlook for Vietnam as it forecasts the country's GDP to expand 6.5% in 2022 and 6.7% in 2023, based on the update of its flagship economic report released on September 21.
The bank says Vietnam's economy recovered faster than expected in the first half of 2022 and continues to grow amid the challenging global environment. The steady recovery was supported by strong economic fundamentals and driven by a faster than expected bounce back of manufacturing and services, it added. The Asian Development Outlook Update 2022 says Vietnam's economy is performing reasonably well amid uncertainties in the global economy. Restored global food supply chains will boost agricultural production this year, but high input costs will still constrain the recovery of the agriculture sector. Softening global demand has slowed Vietnam's manufacturing. However, the outlook for the sector remains bullish, given strong foreign direct investment in the sector, the update's report said. Vietnam's prudent monetary policies and effective price controls, especially for gasolines, should keep inflation in check at 3.8% in 2022 and 4% in 2023, unchanged from the projections the bank made in April.
Amid concern over inflation and rising interest rates, Vietnam has emerged as a rare economic bright spot, boasting healthy GDP growth and an array of opportunities, according to a story published by Bangkok Post.
According to Bangkok Post, Vietnam, an emerging market with one of the highest growth rates in the world, has drawn significant investments from abroad. The country's bourse often offers a high rate of return on investment, while the nation is not expected to suffer from high inflation and rising interest rates that developed countries are obliged by, raising the possibility that these nations might enter a recession soon, it said. It added that Vietnam's monetary policy is relatively moderate, particularly when compared with developed countries. There are four key factors contributing to strong economic growth and attracting investors to Vietnam, making it one of the few countries offering high returns, the article cited investment firm One Asset Management as saying.
The Malaysian National News Agency Bernama said in a recent article that a number of fruits grown in Vietnam have successfully entered high-value and challenging markets.
It noted apart from China, Vietnam's largest importer for years, Vietnamese fruit and vegetables enjoyed strong growth in other major markets such as the US, the Republic of Korea, Japan, and Australia. Many exporters are turning their eyes to the European markets, where their products enjoy 0% tax rate under the EU-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement, and these markets are seeing increasing demand for tropical fruit and vegetables. The article cited that the country's fruit and vegetable exports to Europe in 2021 hit $303 million, up 17.4% year-on-year. To ensure the sustainability of fruit exports and further make inroads into traditional markets and even high-end ones, seed production will be a vital factor, which will amplify the country's agricultural strengths so as to reinforce its position as one of the world's major fresh fruit exporters, according to the news agency.
A special space showcasing the northern province of Bắc Ning's cultural, craft and tourism features is scheduled to take place in the pedestrian area around Hoàn Kiếm Lake in downtown Hanoi from September 23 to 26.
According to the Hanoi Department of Culture and Sports, the space will treat visitors to Bắc Ning's cultural heritage, traditional culinary delights, and impressive tourist destinations. One of its 5 categories is set to dedicate the local Quan Ho love duet, an art form that combines various elements including music, lyrics, and costumes, and features the distinctive cultural people in the region. The art of love duets was inscribed in the UNESCO representative list of intangible cultural heritage in September 2009. The other categories will involve Bắc Ning's handicrafts, cuisine, and destinations. It's the second time such speech will have been held in the capital city.
The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has issued a plan to organize 7 programs to support research, restoration, conservation and promotion of the culture of ethnic minorities at risk of oblivion in Yên Bái, Phú Thọ, Điện Biên and Nghệ An provinces.
The program will contribute to the restoration and preservation of fine traditional cultural forms and products of the Tây, Thái, Dao, Mường, Phu Lá, Thổ, and the 2 ethnic groups. The move is expected to strengthen national solidarity, especially among youth, via various activities such as folk songs, dances, and cultural rituals imbued with each minority's identity, towards enhancing the role of village elders and chiefs, respected individuals and ethnic minority groups themselves. The ministries also asked relevant departments and local authorities to work closely with the Department of Traditional Culture to effectively carry out the project.
The Central Highlands province of Đắk Nông has become popular to both domestic and foreign visitors after Đắk Nông Geopark was recognized as a global geopark by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization.
On July 7, 2020, the Program and External Relations Commission of the 209th UNESCO Executive Board approved the Global Geoparks Council's proposal to grant the title to the Đắk Nông Geopark, the third of its kind in the country. It received a certificate recognizing the title on November 24th of the same year. The UNESCO recognition has contributed to affirming Đắk Nong's global tourism values. Therefore, the locality aims to maximize values of geology and geomorphology, as well as traditional culture. Đắk Nong's tourism products are expected to contribute to promoting local tangible and intangible cultural heritage like UNESCO-recognized Gom cultural space, folk games and crafts, along with dishes of local ethnic minority groups. According to provincial leaders, apart from tourism products associated with tangible and intangible values, Đắk Nông has focused on adventure, community-based and leisure tourism. With its potential and efforts, Đắk Nông is expected to soon become a bright tourist destination.